Hi, I'm Jocelyn. I am a certified child life specialist. I work with children, youth, and families in the healthcare settings, helping them cope with illness and hospitalization and providing psychosocial support to them. I am a huge Swiftie. I love cats, and I'm a two-time anonymous living organ donor. So I was 19 the first time when I donated a lobe of my liver to a child anonymously on the waiting list. And then I was a second-time living organ donor when I was 25 and I was donating a kidney as part of the kidney pair donor exchange program. I decided to become an organ donor when I was 19. One of my family members, there was talk of her needing a liver. And I had always thought, I knew that people have done that before. And I think I'd seen it in movies or on TV. And I just figured, of course, I would want to do that for somebody else if I could. And I thought about how young she was at the time. She was in her early 30s with young children. And I think I'd always heard people older and later in life needing organs, and it just really hit me. So I had done some research about it, and I had learned all about the process and what was involved, and I was really intrigued, and I knew in my head that I wanted to do it. And she actually ended up being okay on her own, which is amazing, and she recovered really well. But after doing all the research, I had learned about what the wait times are like in Ontario, and I just knew that, it is still something that I wanted to do for somebody else. Even though my loved one didn't need an organ anymore, there was obviously many people that would be in that need. And I wanted to get that process started. So I moved forward with it. It was definitely a very, very thorough process to go through, from all of the steps along the way, from being interviewed by the team to really assess my understanding and my ability to make this informed decision, to all of the physiological testing to make sure I was suitable and in good health to do so, and the psychosocial aspect of things, making sure that I had all the supports in place and had thought about all of the potentials that come along with the experience in terms of the stressors that might occur or the impacts that this could have on my life, both positive and the potential risks that are involved. So after going through all of those things, I was approved to be a living liver donor. And I donated anonymously to a child unknown to me on the waiting list. And honestly, it was such a positive experience for me. Of course, there was challenges along the way. It's an 8-hour procedure, and being in the intensive care unit was quite an experience for somebody like myself who had never been hospitalized before. All of the ripple effects that came from that experience and the positive impacts that it had in my life. It was such a high for me. And even after that, I had always told people I would do this again in a heartbeat. So after giving it some thought over a couple of years in between, I decided that I wanted to go forward to be a kidney donor. So just before the pandemic, I had started the process, and then I decided to do that again. And it was definitely also a very positive experience. And I'm so proud to be able to say that I was able to do that twice. And I think from both of these experiences, it's helped me influence to other people too, that if I can be a living donor the first time at 19, and the second time I was 25, and here I am at 27, living my life to the fullest and thriving in my career and in my social life and in my health, I'm doing really well. And if I can do that and help give other people the second chance and share that gift of life, then it's definitely something I inspire to motivate other people to do or to think about, even to have those conversations with their loved ones, to have their organs donated when they die, or to consider living donation as well. I would say a big push for me to become a donor, of course, was having had somebody in my life where there was talk of her needing one. It definitely inspired me to think about it. I think, unfortunately, we don't often think about organ and tissue donation until it imminently impacts us, whether it be us ourselves or the people close to us in our lives. So that was definitely a big piece of my decision. But I think also knowing that my loved one didn't need one, and considering the fact that there are so many people that are waiting. In my line of work, I work with children and teens in the healthcare system, providing psychosocial support, and how illness and hospitalization and waiting for an organ can impact people and their quality of life. And I think that knowing that there's the opportunity for me to be able to share the gift of life with other people and share these so many wonderful opportunities that I have been so blessed with in my life. I think about the fact that I've had the ability to travel, to get an education, to make memories with my loved ones and not have to worry about my health. That's something that's truly a blessing, and I'm so grateful for that and all of those things. And I think that just wanting those things for other people and seeing that sometimes when people are waiting for an organ, they only see the walls of the hospital and, how challenging that can be. And it impacts the whole family. And I think that really sat closely with me and really influenced me to want to be able to do that. And I think in all of my research too, of course, there are risks involved, but I think that I have a lot of trust in the ability for the teams to make an appropriate decision. And I know that if it was something that was going to put me at so much risk that it wasn't safe for me, that I know that I wouldn't be permitted to move forward with that. So I really did trust that, you know what, we take risks every day. And this was one of my biggest, I don't want to say arguments, but one of my biggest kind of comebacks when people would say, well, that's a really risky procedure, or kind of asking me about, well, you're putting yourself in a position where something could happen. And I think that we take risks every day, crossing the street, getting in vehicles, things happen and we can't control those things all the time. And I think that knowing that this to me was a safe risk, and knowing that the potential outcome of this, and knowing that that was highly likely to positively impact somebody else's life, and it made it all worth it for me. I think when I consider for other people, and the advice that I would give, I mean, really, I don't know if there's something specific I would say, but I think a couple of things that come to mind include making sure you have a good support system around you is such a big deal. I mean, I have been so lucky to have family and friends around me, and of course they had their worries too, but overall they were super supportive. So whether that be emotional support and being able to talk to them about any concerns, or even just through recovery and just like having people to be there to cheer me on and to be able to just provide me that care and support that I needed when having a rough time in the hospital. I think that was a really imperative thing for me. So that was definitely something that positively impacted my experience. I also did research in terms of talking to other people who have been through the experience, because I think when you just read something online, sometimes it can be really frightening, or they have to tell you every little detail. But I think it definitely helps to hear the personal side of things from other people. I got really good tips and tricks from other people, like bringing your own pillow to the hospital, or having one to help when you're walking and kind of buffering around your incision and things like that. So I think that that was tremendously helpful to me. So I would also say too, I mean, you have to be comfortable and confident in your own decision, and it's important that you hear other people and listen to what their thoughts are too. But I think that at the end of the day, you have to be able to be comfortable with it and whatever you need to do to get to that point. So I think that those would be my biggest things. I think there are definitely things that it's really difficult to prepare or to know exactly how your life is going to be impacted. You have a little bit of an idea going into it, but I think one of the biggest, probably newest feelings for me, maybe I'll put it that way, as somebody who's been perfectly healthy and in really good shape, I would say that being hospitalized in general, being in an intensive care unit, that was definitely something that's an experience. It's scary for adults, and it's scary even when you've been prepared and you know that you're going to be in that kind of setting. I think, as I noted to you before, I think just being able to have supportive people around you was probably like one of my biggest things. And I think another really outcome that has come from this, something that I didn't necessarily expect, but so glad to see this transpire, is really the conversation starter that this has really built for people in my life. I think being a donor at such a young age, both times 19 and then at 25, I think a lot of the people I surrounded myself with really never thought about that. And they never considered that, because it's never been an imminent impact in their life to think about organ and tissue donation. So being able to get other people to consider, oh, these are my wishes for when I die, and wanting their families to know about those things. And even the people that have reached out to me with desire to learn about living donation, because many people didn't know about it. So I think it's been really empowering to be able to be an advocate in the community, really spark that conversation, I think, especially with young people too. Like I I often have felt like I've been underestimated because of being young and my ability to make a positive impact. And I think that this was another way that I could showcase that to other people, is that it doesn't matter how old you are, how much time you've had on this earth, you can still, by these actions, you can still have a positive impact as well. I think my experience as a donor has definitely, I don't know if I would say changed, but I would say really fueled my passion to want to have a positive impact and to really take time to appreciate the things in my life, like my health and the people that I have around me. And I think the experiences of being a donor has really brought out those things in my life, knowing that I have some really good, amazing, supportive people around me that are there to cheer me on, which is wonderful. But I think just like the perspective too, and being able to really reflect on my life and recognize all the amazing things that I've had opportunities to experience. I think that's a big thing because when you're in the hospital, even recovering as a donor, like I knew that I was going to go home and I was going to be okay. And even I remember my parents sharing about while they were waiting for me during my procedure, it finally kicked into them, oh my goodness, like this is really scary, but we know that our daughter is going to be okay. And knowing that so many people have to worry about their health, or I mean we all do, but some people when they're facing chronic illness and different medical conditions that can jeopardize that, like that's super scary. And I think that I've been so blessed with so many opportunities in my life. So I think that just really being able to have gratitude for those things. And I think it's just been so empowering, honestly, to be able to help be a voice and to really encourage other people to do what they can and just to spread more kindness and think of other people and how we can leave our mark. I am so proud of my scars. Honestly, I remember in the workup process of becoming a donor, that was one of the questions during the psychosocial assessment, talking about like how would you cope and what do you think about these changes that can happen to your body? And though those are very important things to consider, I think that that's something that I wear with pride. It's a story to tell. I think that it's it's something that it's a conversation starter. It's something I can say, you know what, like this tells a story of when I was able to do this amazing thing and be able to share this with somebody else. And I think it's really cool. I wear them with a lot of pride, that's for sure. I'm not sure if there would be anything specific that I would tell my recipients. I think if anything, it's just really amazing to envision how they're doing and what their life is like. And I don't know, I just think it's really cool to know that part of my organ is in somebody else's body living their best life. And yeah, I just think imagining these people and how they're doing is just something that is really neat to me. But I just think it'd be really cool to meet them one day and to just make that connection. But it's a special bond that you share. And I mean, how do you put that into words? I don't know.